from West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Support for the following is provided by the West Virginia Department of Education and West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Hey everyone, it's Education Station, the show where we invite teachers from all across West Virginia to submit videos of themselves teaching their favorite lessons. In today's episode, we've got 3 exciting lessons about robotics, reading, and figurative language. Well, hello and welcome back everyone. I'm your host, Alex Milanese, and we're kicking off today's episode with an exciting lesson from Mrs. Adkins' class. Her students are going to show us a little bit about how robots work. Let's check it out.
Did you know that there is a planet inhabited only by robots? Can you guess which one? It's Mars. Mars does not have any life forms, but it does have robots. All of the robots on Mars have been sent from Earth to study Mars. These robots have different instruments that are used to collect rocks, run tests, and study the conditions of the planet. The most recent robot to arrive on Mars was the rover Perseverance, which landed on Mars February 28, 2021. As of right now, there are no people on Mars that can operate the robots and tell them where to go and what to do. So how do the robots move and work? The robots we have sent to Mars are autonomous. That means they are pre-programmed with instructions that tell them exactly what to do. All of the instructions for each robot had to be created and loaded before the robot ever left Earth. So how do you give a robot instructions? Robots are actually operated by computers. And in order to give the robot instructions, we must tell the computer what to do. Computers do not understand language the way you and I do. You can't just talk to a computer and tell it what to do. And you can't just type a bunch of words into a computer and expect the computer to do what they say. Instead, you must code.
When you are coding, you are giving a computer step-by-step instructions in a computer language that it can understand. Before we look at some computer coding languages, let's try following a made-up code for some dance moves. Let's say that the symbol on the screen, the hand, means clap. And let's say the circle means spin. See if you can follow this code. Ready? Go. The code you saw tells us to clap, then spin, then clap again. Let's try another. Ready? Go. How'd you do? Were you able to follow the code? Even though we didn't tell you how to move, you knew what to do because you followed the code. When we code computers and give them instructions, we give them step-by-step directions in a coding language the computer can understand.
This is a common coding language called Scratch. To code with Scratch, you can drag and snap code blocks together to form a set of instructions. Each block is another step the computer can follow. For instance, if we drag together this move block and this left block, the character will move left. What do you think we could try to get the character to move right? Great idea. Instead of using the left block, we can use the right block. Let's see if it works. Look at that. By changing the code block, we changed the direction given to the computer, and it followed our command.
We are members of the first LEGO League Robotics Challenge at Moorfield Middle School. First LEGO League is a fun organization where students of all ages can build and code robots to compete in challenges and games. In our competition, each year, First gives us an obstacle course style game with missions a robot must compete in 2.5 minutes. The robot we build must be autonomous. That means, just like the robots on Mars, our robot must have instructions coded and loaded before the mission. We do not control the robot with controllers or buttons during the game. Instead, it follows the directions we coded into it. Our robot uses Scratch-based coding to move. We can give it a series of commands using our code blocks that tell it how to move around the course and complete the missions. A lot of trial and error goes into making the robot move just right. But all that hard work pays off when the robot can finally complete a mission. Even though we aren't finished with our design yet this year, we'd like to show you a few moves of what our robot can do. Let's watch.
I'm kidding.
This is not the color that you work on.
No, it's not actually.
Okay, after this I'm done. I'll pay attention.
Up to the bike now?
No, not yet. But you have the big 0 monitor, right?
All of this would not be possible without coding. Even though our robot uses Scratch code, there are hundreds of other coding languages out there like C++, Java, and Python. Not only can coding be used to operate robots like this one, but it is how computer programs, the internet, cell phones, and even video games are able to work. If you are interested in learning more about coding, then you can visit scratch.mit.edu. There you can make your own animations, games, and more, all for free. Just make sure you have an adult's permission before you start. If you are interested in joining First LEGO League, you can visit firstinspires.org. Let's review what we've learned today. Mars has lots of autonomous robots performing tests and experiments to help us learn more about the planet. Autonomous means that something works from pre-programmed instructions. In order to give a robot instructions, you must code in a language it understands. And finally, we learn that coding is what allows all modern technology to work. That's all the time we have today. Thanks for joining us, and remember to keep learning and discovering. See ya!
All right, a big thank you to Mrs. Adkins' students. That was awesome. All right, next up, Mrs. Milanese is going to read us a story about a silly little pig and a pesky little fly. Let's check it out.
Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Milanese, and today I'm going to be reading you a story. I found this story on an app called Epic. Epic is a free app that you can download onto a phone, tablet, or iPad, and there are tons of stories to choose from. I chose a really cool one for us today, so let's check it out. Today's story is called Bye Bye Pesky Fly. It's written by Lisa Melotti, and the illustrator is Janet McConnell. Bye-bye, pesky fly. Some days are good days, calm, peaceful, and happy. Pig was having a feel-good kind of day. Pig was just hanging around thinking about his favorite things. Sunshine, rainbows, and the feel of cool mud on a hot summer day. Then, out of the blue came a pesky fly. That pesky fly buzzed around Pig's nose. That pesky fly buzzed around Pig's ears. Before he knew it, Pig was feeling bothered by all that buzzing. Pig stopped thinking about sunshine, rainbows, and the feel of cool mud on a hot summer day. Now he was thinking about rain, thunder, and prickly sticker bushes. Have you ever felt like Pig? How do you think Pig feels? If I were Pig, I think I would feel a little bit annoyed, frustrated, or even mad. We all feel like that sometimes, so let's see how Pig reacts. Pig felt very angry and mad. He really wanted to have a happy day. Would Pig let that pesky fly take away his happy day? No. What should Pig do? He imagined yelling at that pesky fly. Go away! Make me! Does yelling make the problem any better? No. Yelling makes a problem bigger. So perhaps yelling when we're frustrated or angry isn't the solution. Pig could run away and hide in a cave. Will that help fix the problem? No, running away doesn't help. He would still feel upset and lonely too. So perhaps running away from our problems isn't the best solution. Could he swat that pesky fly? Never. Pig was a pig of peace. He knew it was wrong to hurt anyone or anything. Sometimes when we're frustrated or annoyed at others, we may feel so angry that we want to hurt someone. But it's never okay to do that, so we always have to find another way. Let's see what Pig decides to do. Pig had to do something about his feelings to feel better. He needed to shake out the itchy feeling he gets under his skin when his mood turns sour. Pig decided that he wanted to feel calm, peaceful, and happy. He took a deep breath. He thought about sunshine, rainbows, and the feel of cool mud on a hot summer day. Sometimes those feelings of being angry or frustrated can make it feel like our skin is crawling underneath or itching. We have to find a way to calm down. Oftentimes, taking a deep breath is a really good way, and thinking about something that makes you happy is also very helpful to keep you from feeling like that. Pig decided to walk. Pig whistled a happy tune. That pesky fly flew away. Sometimes just getting up and moving can help. Moving to a different location away from whatever's bothering you, or even just getting a little bit of exercise by running or jumping can help us to get all of those feelings of frustration and anger out. That pesky fly buzzed around Pig's ears. That pesky fly buzzed around Pig's nose and then landed looking Pig right in the eyes. And so now the Pig has come back. It's still frustrating for Pig, but what he realizes he hasn't done is he hasn't told the fly that he's frustrated. Pig remained calm and nicely said, "Fly, I feel bothered when you buzz near my ears and nose. Please don't fly so close." And so Pig asked very nicely if the fly could just not fly so close to him. That pesky fly flew off of Pig's nose, putting some space between them. "Thank you," said Pig. That pesky fly realized that he had indeed been a pesky fly. Sometimes people might make us feel frustrated or annoyed, and they don't do it on purpose, and they're not aware that they're doing it, just like the fly in this story. And so when Pig asked him nicely, the fly then realized that what he was doing was annoying. And sometimes that can make someone like the fly or someone else who's frustrating us kind of feel a little bit upset. Now the pesky fly had to decide what to do. He imagined yelling at Pig. "Stop being so sensitive." No, that wouldn't be nice, would it? Pig had the right to feel his own feelings. He could fly away and be pesky to someone else. No, that wouldn't be nice either. So Fly has all of these feelings of being upset, and he's trying to figure out what can he do to feel better as well. That pesky fly decided Pig was good company. That pesky fly enjoyed sharing the sunshine. And that pesky fly liked the cheerful tune that Pig whistled when he walked. That pesky fly decided a friend was a good thing to have. "Sorry, Pig. I promise not to buzz too close. Mind if I tag along?" "Not at all," replied Pig. That pesky fly was true to his word. That pesky fly flew by Pig's side. Together they shared the sunshine, rainbows, and the feel-good kind of day. That pesky fly wasn't pesky anymore. Bye-bye, pesky fly. Hello, friend. And so in the beginning of this story, it seems as if the fly and the pig aren't going to be able to be friends. The pig was very annoyed by the fly. He thought about yelling at him or running away from him or even hurting him. But eventually he realized that if he just asks in a nice, calm manner and tells the fly what he needs from him, that the fly listened. And even though at first the fly's feelings were a little bit hurt, he then just realized that Pig was just trying to tell him how he feels. And at the end of the day, because both of them were able to deal with their frustration in the right way, they made a new friend. And that's all.
Thanks, Mrs. Milanese. Now for our final segment today, Miss DeVault is going to share a lesson to help us understand literal and figurative language. Let's check it out.
Hello, this is Wendy DeVault, and I'm here for Literacy Volunteers of Harrison County, and I'm presenting a lesson today on figurative language. Now, as writers and speakers, we make choices every day about what types of words we're going to use. And one of the choices we can make is between figurative and literal language. So today I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to explain the basic difference between figurative and literal. And then I'm going to give you information on 4 specific types of figurative language. So, for the basic definition, literal language means exactly what is written, okay? It is what we would find in the dictionary. It's the basic dictionary definition. And the easiest way to remember literal is the word actual. Okay, now the opposite of that is figurative language, and it means something other than what is written. There's some interpretation involved. It uses figures of speech. So when you see the word figurative, connect it in your head to the term figures of speech, because when you're in school and you're in language class, your teachers will talk about this frequently. Okay, it tends to be more impactful and more imaginative, so you will see a lot of figurative language in literature. When I say literature, I mean books and short stories and poems. So it's not actual. Okay, so the easiest way to remember this, literal means actual, figurative means not actual. It is symbolic, it is suggestive, it's implied. Okay, so let's practice. Let's figure out, I have 6 statements, and we're going to try to figure out, are they literal or are they figurative? So there's a mix, okay? And the number one thing we need to do is ask ourselves, does it mean exactly what is written? So, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse, okay? Is this true? Could you eat a horse? Okay, does it mean that? Okay, so I actually looked this up. The average horse weighs 900 pounds. Okay, so are you so hungry that you could eat 900 pounds of meat? No. Okay, this is imaginative. So this is figurative language. This can never actually happen. You know, an average person is 150 pounds. Okay, she is as fast as a cheetah. Okay, again, does this mean exactly what is written? Well, we have to figure out how fast does a cheetah move, okay? Most of you know that cheetah is one of the fastest animals in the world. I looked this up. A cheetah can run between 50 and 80 miles. So the second type of figurative language I want to talk about is simile. Simile is another type of comparison, but this time the word like or as will actually appear. So let's look at these 3 examples. Life is like a box of chocolates. Most of you are probably familiar with this from the movie Forrest Gump. That's why I wanted to use it. That's what's being compared. Life is being compared to a box of chocolates. But look, we're checking for the word like or as, and like shows up. So we know this is a simile. And again, how is life? You know, you got to use your imagination. How is it like a box of chocolates? Well, when you get a box of chocolates, it's a mystery. You pick up a piece of chocolate and you don't know what's inside. And there may be some of your favorite flavors and then your not so favorite flavors, okay? So it's going to be a mix of good and bad, and it's going to be a little mysterious, okay? My mother is as busy as a bee. So let's look for the comparison. Mother is being compared to a bee, and then we have the word as. So we know this is a simile. Okay, and then you think, well, why would you compare your mother to a bee? You know, what qualities does a bee have? A bee is very industrious. A bee is always on the go. It works very hard. There's a lot going on. So mom, you know, typically are very busy people. And then my final example is from literature. In the eastern sky, there was a yellow patch, like a rug, laid for the feet of the coming sun. Okay, so we're looking for a comparison, okay? So there is a yellow patch, okay, and it's being compared to a rug. So we have the word like, okay? So this is describing, you know, a beautiful sky. There's some streaks of yellow, and it's being laid out like a rug, okay? That is your comparison. Then we're kind of moving right into my next example of figurative language. The feet of the sun? How's that possible? A sun does not have feet. Does anyone know what that's called? That is personification, okay? Personification is when you give human characteristics to things that aren't human. Easy way to remember this is the word person shows up right there. So you got human and human. So let's look and see how these are examples of personification. The stars winked in the night sky, okay? So we have the stars winking, okay? That's not possible. The stars do not have a face. They don't have eyes, nose, and mouth. They can't wink at you. So this is an imaginative way to say that they're twinkling, okay? So we're giving the stars human characteristics, a face, okay? The last slice of apple pie is calling my name. You might hear your father say this or your mother say this. Let's look for what is being treated as if it's human, okay? So there's a slice of apple pie and it's calling, okay? Calling, so it's going to use its mouth, it's going to have a voice. That's not possible. Pie does not have a voice. We're giving it a human characteristic, making it talk. That means like the pie saying, come and get me, right? I really, really want, you know, to be consumed. Must be delicious pie. So we're personifying the apple pie. And then here's my example. One of my favorite books is a science fiction novel called Fahrenheit 451. And this, Ray Bradbury wrote it, and he just, on every page, there's probably 10 examples of figurative language. So the train radio vomited on Montag in retaliation, a great tonload of music. Okay, so we have a radio vomiting. That doesn't seem to be possible at all. We're giving the radio human characteristics, okay? That it is able, to have a throat and to bring up food. Here, Montag's trying to concentrate, but the sound, the noise coming out of the radio is so intense, Bradbury's comparing it to being vomited upon. Okay, very, very interesting example of personification. And again, there are maybe 20, 25 different types of figurative language. This is the fourth and the final one for today. Don't mispronounce this. Some of my students call it hyperbole. It is not hyperbole. It is hyperbole. Okay, hyperbole. And hyperbole is an exaggeration, and you use it to make a point. Okay, so let's look at some common ones and then one from literature. This suitcase weighs a ton. Okay, so you have a suitcase and you're saying that it weighs a ton. Do any of you know how much a ton is? That is 2,000 pounds. Okay, again, this is not possible. It's imaginative. It's a way to say this is really, really heavy. Okay, it's an exaggeration. There's no way your suitcase weighs a ton. You often hear people say, that movie scared me to death. Okay, so scare me to death. You died? Something in that movie frightened you so much that you actually died, you lost your life? No, that doesn't happen. This just means it was very, very intense, very terrifying. Okay, so we are exaggerating. And then my last example is from a poem. I'll love you, dear, I'll love you till China and Africa meet. Now, if you know anything about geography, China is in Asia, that's a continent. Africa is a separate continent. What are the odds? These two are going to connect. Okay, it may take thousands and thousands of years. So saying, I love you, I'll love you forever. Okay, it's an exaggeration. This is probably very unlikely to happen. So you have all this time unfolding that you will be in love and you'll be together. So that is my lesson today on figurative language. And the point is, sometimes you want to be more imaginative, you want to add more impact to your writing and to your speaking. And when you want to do that, use figurative language. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. DeVault. All right, well, that wraps up everything for us here today on Education Station. We want to thank everyone who shared their awesome lessons. And we want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Education Station.